What it do, peoples? You know what's funny is when you're sitting here trying to figure out why I can't find the live after you just got finished recording the flow and you had it set to record only, not stream. Hello? Okay, this is why. This is why checklist is important, people. Luckily, I figured the steps out quickly. All right, so if you happen to be here Saturday, you saw a decent stream when we were talking about doing our mid-year reset, right? You know, July 2nd is the halfway date when it comes to a year, as you count a year by days. And I like to take that time around then to sort of reset my bearings, reset my compass, if you will, sort of figure out where I'm going, where I'm headed, why I'm heading there, and why it may or may not be the right direction. You know what I mean? So in that conversation, always, like I'm telling you, I have had, I don't know if it's a privilege, I'll call it a privilege for just simplicity's sakes, but I've had the privilege of figuring out my why in the last couple of years and having my purpose locked down. Like I know exactly what I want to do. I know why I want to do it. I know kind of sort of what steps I need to take to get there. I am not satisfied with the progress at this point, but I don't beat myself up over that because I realize this is a long journey. I have no expectations of being perfect. I have no expectations of being right. I have an expectation of hook or crook. I am going to put this information out there and hopefully it feeds some trees, right? I am here to fertilize trees. I am just a wee little bird flying through the air, taking the on all these trees. And hopefully the seeds and the berries and whatever I spread allows them trees to grow. And then from those trees, they can bear fruit for the next set of birds and peoples and children's and aminos, and they will spread and it will spread and it will spread, right? So that's it. Like literally when the dream comes to me, it says all you need to do is put it out there and they will find it, right? So there's a really old proverb that says something to the nature of just because a message may not be received doesn't mean it's not worth sending. Okay? So I'm going to put out what's in my head because I feel in the bottom of my feet that somebody needed to hear this. That's why one of my favorite memes of all the memes is I don't know who need to hear this, but and that's me, because I feel, this is just me personally, right? As I'm explaining to you how to find yours, I'm gonna tell you how it hit me. I came to the conclusion that based on people spreading around information that's not whole, information that is knee-jerk, information that is based on misunderstanding of the roots of words, and that I realized that us learning to speak the common vernacular of the people around us alone could keep you stuck. Because 95% of the population around us has developed definitions to words that are wholly wrong. They are not right. And it's not make these people bad. It doesn't make them evil. It doesn't make them lazy. It means that they just adopted things at surface value because that was the time and space that they had, and they may or may not have looked deeper within to figure out what all these things mean. So, for instance, this is something that I used to fight with my mom about because she always said that I was being a smartass. And 9 times out of 10, when someone says you're being a smartass, you're not. You are using the terminology the way it should be and defining the use of these words the way they should be, but yet the common population may have picked it up, took the, as we say, as Dinah likes to say, lazy in grammar or lazy in her diction. yeah, there are some people that are just lazy in language altogether. So, for instance, one of the things I used to always start fights with my mom is, people would come into our store and they'd be like, hey, like, how much is this camera? And I'd be like, oh, this one is actually 10.99, right? So this is 10.99. And they'd be like, oh, is it on sale? Yes. Well, how much is the sale price? 10.99. What's the regular price? 10.99. And they'd be like, but I thought you said it was on sale. Yes. I'm speaking reality. What they wanted to know is there a periodic special discount on it, which we tend to say because the common vernacular is on sale. But when you are selling this, it's on sale, right? For sale and on sale are the same thing. That fake discount that you make up because it could have always been, like, say it retail or MSRP is $14.99, but we have it on sale for $10.99. No. What happens is we adjust the price like anybody else. You adjust the price for what the market will bear. So if the manufacturer came out and said it was $14.99, and then there's other people that once every 2 months sell it for $10.99, that's what people would say is on sale. No, you can sell it at $10.99 every single day of the week. The MSRPs kind of went away, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes, of course it's different in everybody's head, Dina, because again, like I said, 95% of the people have taken that to mean what it means. And so, yeah, you can say that you're going to go with the common definition. And I use that one because that one really always gets people messed up. But for the most part, in the industry, manufacturers suggested retail price used to mean something, and it didn't really. Towards electronics, towards the end of electronics retail as it stands, it stopped meaning anything because nobody was either nobody was going to sell it at MSRP or everybody was going to sell it at MSRP. So, for instance, there is never an advertised discount on any Apple equipment anywhere. The price is the price. Once a year, they'll do a special where they'll give you extra gift cards or they'll do a 5% reduction on Black Friday. But just like Louis Vuitton and many other things, the price is the price. There is no messing with the price. When Saturn, the car company, first came out, one of the things that was their claim to fame is the price wasn't the price. You weren't going to go somewhere and argue with somebody and get a cheaper rate, right? So electronics started to get into that position where you would set your price for the profit that you wanted to make. And like Melvin said, we had much lower overhead. So the reason why I used to fight it like that is because people would look at our store like we're the small store, so we must be, more expensive. So they would go in and they would say, well, I went to Best Buy and Best Buy said that this was $11.99, but they had it on sale for, $11.50. But you're saying it's $10.99, and yeah, but you said it's on sale. I go, yeah, for $10.99, because that's what we sell it for every day. Like, we don't play those games. We put X amount of margin on it. Let's say 10%. This is going to be our margin. It's never 10. This is going to be our margin, and we leave it there. We don't mess around. We don't lie to you and say on Tuesday it's $11.99, but if you come after Thursday, it's back up to 14. Right? We're giving you this is our truth every day, right? And they go, oh, well, Best Buy said they will match. I go, so my argument would be, okay, so what you're saying is you're cool with them lying to you about the price, but if you're smart enough to come here and ask me for my price and then get that in writing and go back and ask them to give you another new truth, that you're cool with that business practice, we're telling you what our thing is. I'm telling you I need to pay rent. My brother and I, my mom and dad, we need to eat. We have Uncle Jimmy and my friend Aaron as employees. We need to pay them, and we need to pay rent. So this is our price. We don't do that weird shit. This is our price, period. And some people would get it and some people wouldn't, because they like the idea of feeling like they're getting something, right? And so I'll pick Amazon, right? A lot of times what you see is people will take the standard price in order to make it deal better for you, especially when it comes to camera, is they will add in a cleaning cloth. woohoo. They'll add in, this little case, which again, brand new is $9, but bought for 85 cents from their warehouse. They'll throw a bunch of things that aren't really that dope, and they'll throw it in, and they'll be like, "Oh, here, we're going to sell it to you for that price because it makes it looks like this bundle makes it sound like it's a better deal." The only thing that matters is the camera works. So when people do stuff like that, we have changed the conversation around certain things. One that has everybody twisted right now is, social media. We've always had social media. We didn't have Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all of that, but I would be like, Melvin, I need some new tires for my car. And Melvin would be like, oh, go see my friend Dina. Her cousin owns a tire place. So I'd be like, hey, we had phone back then. Dina, sorry, you don't know me from Steve, but Melvin, your friend. Yeah, I know Melvin. We went to school together. Yeah. He said that you had somebody that's really, really good in a tire game. I need to get some tires for my whip. And she'd be like, oh, yeah, call up my cousin George, And then so I'd be like, thanks, Dina. I really appreciate you. If you ever need anything computer-wise, hit me up. Keep my number, blah, blah, blah. And, oh, yeah, you like making cocktails. I like drinking cocktails. Okay, cool. So then I would turn around and call George, right? We've done that for the end of time. But all of a sudden now, just because it's fast and just because it's furious and just because people can say dumb stuff and spread dumb stuff, people want to say like social media is the evil. We've always had communication. We're just changing the way you communicate. At one point, we communicated with pigeons and smoke signals, and then SOS, and then telegraph. And yes, each newer version becomes more rapid. When we get to telekinesis or telecathotonics or whatever the heck you call it, it'll be even faster. But there will always be people that use it for good, and there will always be people that will use it for evil. At some point in time, when all we could do was somebody sent the message to said, go invade the other side. That is no different than sending an angry tweet. And they did it with a freaking pigeon or a dude on a horse or, I don't know, like whatever, Pony Express. It's always been there. And, people are like, well, all of this new tech is causing people to silo each other and is really separating the human condition. Who says that kind of stuff? People who aren't people of color. Because we know we've been getting separated from day one. We've been getting put into little boxes and told that we're this or that from day one. It is no different just because social media can make it quicker. As a matter of fact, in a way, it's better because it's quicker because I can get ignored faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you start thinking about that, I just sat down and I had a thought that I need to go back out and re-express my thoughts on thinking things all the way through in order to come up with a vision that you can accept. I think that a large portion of the population just accepts the vision as it is. And they don't realize that sometimes all you have to do to change your vision is change your vision. Or to change your vision, different perspective. You know what I'm saying? And so let me come in and make it my mission to help people rediscover their strengths, rediscover the things that other people stole from them, rediscover their confidence, rediscover their curiosity. That's one that's taken from us from school. Like, it's funny, you figure school's supposed to help you get curious. Some people get to school and lose their curiosity because they're told by some teacher that doesn't feel like doing their job that you're not allowed to ask that many questions. What teacher tells a kid they're not allowed to ask that many questions? It happens. It's ignorant. Like, what a dumb thing to say to a child. But trust you me, there's parents and teachers out here in these streets that's telling some kid today they're not allowed to ask that many questions, speak when spoken to. Like, I realize that I'm a very curious individual, and my question is always why, what, why, how. And I was told stop asking questions. And when I rediscovered my curiosity, I never wanted to let it go. So now I want to be curious about every damn thing. I want to be nosy than the mug. You know what I'm saying? So when I had the epiphany, I was recovering. I was recovering from stroke, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna leave this world with too many questions not properly asked. And I didn't want that for me. And I don't want that for you neither. So I'm like, I'm gonna go and help people regain their curiosity. You know, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help people steal back some of their childhood joy. That's how I found my purpose. That's how I became hella clear. I do not want you to have a stroke and they about die to get clear on your purpose. So I want to talk to you about some ways that, you know what I mean? I want you to find some ways to help you find your purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to pay more if your perspective value is in that purchase or the transaction. 100%. That I agree with. That was one thing that the British are coming. Horseback tweet. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I mean, right? That was a horseback tweet from back in the day. You know what I mean? Here's another one. I wish they do that for holiday prices. And Valentine's Day meal tastes the same as regular meals, but just more expensive based on supply and demand. So these are also true, right? Thank you, Obs, as somebody who knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing I think is important. Actually, there's no order for this. I kind of thought I was going to give you an order, but I think it would be unfair to give you an order because this was my order, but yours ain't going to be the same, right? So I'm like, I'm fitting to leave this joint, and I don't think I've done enough of what I love. So I had almost of this is about to be gone thoughts about what I love. You know, things that genuinely fill me with joy, genuinely fill me with that Tinkerbell juice. That's one of my favorite words. And it's not necessarily what you're good at or what other people think you're good at, but it's like what you straight up love. Okay? For instance, I tell one of my friends that, oh, I think you're really, really good at this, this, and this. It's amazing. And then she's like, yeah, and I like it, but I'm not going to turn that into a sharing situation because I don't want to deal with the people that are going to come in and try to tell me how I'm doing it wrong. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. I like the way I do it. And I'm not ready to deal with people coming in telling me that I'm doing it wrong. And I accept that because trust you me, it happens, especially if you're a female. I'm not even going to be weird about that. I'm not going to call punches. I'm not going to let people take that away. Certain things, when you come in and you start talking about it as a female, you automatically going to get some dude to come in and try to mansplain it to you. You know what I mean? And it's none of their damn business. So you can do it the way you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it is a good idea to have, I'm laughing at George's comment. It is a good idea to have that thing that's yours, that you own, and you keep it straight to the vest, right? June, you missed the part where I was explaining to them how when people would ask us if something is on sale, we'd be like, yeah, and they'd be like, what's the sale price? I'm like, it's right there. But what's the normal price? Right there. Because, yeah, they still don't get it. Because they are all indoctrinated the old way. They don't get the Kang way, how we did it. Like, this is the sale price. It's not. On sale and for sale are the same, dude. You didn't ask me if there's a special discount. My brother will stick up for me because he understands what my pain of dealing with a-holes that just automatically thought that somehow because we were the smaller store, we must be not as good. And we were normally guaranteed the best in price in town, which was, yeah, super funny. Oh, you just didn't have no comment. Okay, good. Because June knows, like, this was comment fights. And mom would be like, why you start fights with people? Because I hate when anybody would just look down upon us like such. I just want to punch them in the face. Anyway, so after you reflect upon what it is that you love, and I know like so many people like to talk about your passions. I personally, again, you do you. I don't like that word. You know, when everybody was talking about the passion economy like a couple years back, I ain't like that word. You know what's funny? You don't hear nobody talking about the passion economy no more. Why? Because the passion is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I don't like using freaking market terms because they come and go and they don't really mean anything and they're somewhat made up. And whole books and whole podcasts and whole streams and whole events were based on the passion economy. And half of the people who had those passions no longer have those passions. Why? Because they couldn't profit. So the passion disappeared. Was it really their passion or was it they're trying to profit for the economy that was underneath it? Which is cool because you absolutely should try to, make business and you got to eat. I accept the fact that you got to eat, but I'm just saying passions are dangerous. Passions are fleeting and they change and they switch. Some people have the same passion their entire life, and some people change their passions like draws. Like every Sunday on bath day, they change their draws, they then change their passion. You know what I mean? So that's why I never really liked anchoring your whole life based off of passion alone. I think a purpose has to go a little bit deeper than that. So what is the difference in my head between a passion and a purpose? Passion is definitely something you love, piques your interest. You'll do it all day, any day, right? Like you absolutely just love it for right now. I'm gonna keep saying that because that's just me. But what are you willing to sacrifice to do that? What are you willing to do in service of that passion? What are you willing to do? Here's the key. What are you willing to do for others in service of that passion? If you're willing to do for others, if you're willing to provide for others, if you're willing to serve others with no expectation of something in return, that's purpose. Now, do purpose people often get returns? Absolutely. Why? Because people are naturally not a-holes. People naturally want to give back when something is given to them. I know that the scarcity mentality, people assume that everybody's coming to steal something from you. And the genuine mentality, not genuine, my brain just went blank. The abundance mentality, that's the word. The abundance mentality people, like I can give this dollar away because I know that someone's going to come back and give me 5 more to replace it. That's abundance mentality. Abundance mentality is there's no end. Like whatever is given away or taken or stolen, I can get it back, right? So there's to me, I think this is just me. Now you got to figure these out on your own. I'm just giving you guidelines here. I think for my brain, the primary difference between a passion and a purpose is a passion is something that you love so much that you can't wait to get back doing it. You feel it like it just fill you with joy and energy and the whole 9 yards. But when you turn that passion into a purpose is when you're able to do that in service of others, right? So I'll pick Melvin because he asked a good question. Melvin is a musician. All artists know what I'm talking about. Your passion of the music is like an additional mate wherein they can get on your nerves at times. They can be a pain in the ass to deal with at times. They can drive you crazy. They can stop you from eating, stop you from sleeping. Sometimes they about stop you from breathing. But when it's good, right? So that's where the passion comes in your art. But when you share your art, when you give your art in service to others, when you send a clip out into the world and somebody says like, damn, man, I haven't heard that rendition of Isn't She Lovely? That song means so much to me because it reminds me of my late auntie. And, she used to sing that to my baby sister when I was still baby too, but like I was tall enough to stand there and be like this. And so because she used to sing that to put my baby sister to sleep, it reminds me of my auntie. And man, I just really like love her. She took care of me when I was a children, when mom and dad was working, kind of thing. So you might not have known it. You was just playing another Stevie song, but to me, that one hit. So I appreciate that, fam. When Melvin gets a message like that, then he knows that his purpose in life is sharing the joy, sharing memories, sharing positivity through a pentatonic scale or, a blues scale or a jazz scale or whatever. I'm not getting music theory right now. When he comes out and start diminishing some sevenths and fifths, and somebody sends him a message that, oh man, that remind me of my late husband or wife or whatever, and I needed to hear that, and you put a smile on my face, I know for a fact, I'm guessing, I guarantee you, in the last show that Melvin did in public where people can sit in the chair, at the end, somebody came up and said, you don't even know what that did for me. That made me feel some type of way. And then Melvin go back at night and he could be like, thank you, Jesus, for giving me these lips. It's a funny way to say it, but he don't play guitar. So like these lips, these lungs allowed me to change somebody's life today. That gives that man the purpose and that mission to keep going. Right? Now, some will say, well, that's just a legacy thing because maybe his daddy played or his grandpa played or whatever. Hey, sometimes the purpose goes for generations. There are families out here right now. Talk about a family that came up with a purpose generations ago. And yes, they made profit, but I think his first name was Edmund. I'm going to might get this wrong. I'm going to Google my facts before I get it wrong. But I think his name was Edmund McElhenney. McElhenney. I think that's the name. His name was Edmund. Damn, I drink way too much of this mess that I actually knew this boy name. Back in, 1868, a boy from the name of, from Avery Island named Edmund McElhenney said, let me take these here Tabasco peppers, and it comes from the Tabasco region of Central America. Take these peppers and put them in the bucket with some salt and some vinegar a couple years later after turning the mash, and I'm going to make me this here sauce. And then he gave like the first 100 bottles away, and people was like, son, this is the bomb. You need to make this sauce. And so he started making his McElhenney red Tabasco pepper sauce, and here we are hundreds of years later, they still making that same sauce. And the the sixth generation McElhenney kids are still running the joint. So yeah, sometimes your purpose can be multi-generational, right? So let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'll be honest, George, after I moved to Asia, like I like sriracha better, but it's hard to get them joints right now. I can still get Tabasco. For now, the marsh is getting, the wetlands around Avery Island are getting jacked right now because, climate adaptation. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So now you're going to determine, again, these are not in any order, but I think you're going to determine your strengths, right? And listen, everybody assumes, okay, like Dina can cook her face off. Dude, family, Dina can cook her damn face off. And so some people would be like, oh, her purpose is like sharing these cooking stuffs and whatever. Maybe not. It doesn't have to be just you're good at it. It could be something altogether different. It could be now she might discover that she really enjoys teaching people who've never planted a damn thing in their life that you can get a couple Home Depot buckets in the backyard and save your family a couple $100 a year growing the weeds that we eat that we call food, uh, scallions, onions, garlics, gingers, rosemaries, basils, shiso or perilla. I don't know where you come from. Um, Canip, whatever you want to call it, right? So you might come up with like these are the things that are like straight up easy to grow like weed, but they grow in buckets. And even without digging a hole in your ground, you could grow these and save your family hundreds of dollars a year because these are staple ingredients. I know some of y'all's like, why is a shiso leaf a staple ingredient? You ain't Korean. Roll it up. Bam, bam. It's so good. Also good in the highball, by the way. Shiso highball, son, come on, let me talk to you about it. Anyway, so your strengths are good for you to know because it can help you figure out how you can align your strengths with your passion and your purpose in order to start working in that. Okay, so now again, not in any order. I just keep saying next because that's the way my brain works. You're gonna have to start to identify what are the moments of right? So, like I said, using Melvin again as an example, he did say absolutely sharing and creating life moments for others. Every time he gets a message like that from somebody, he knows how that makes him feel, right? So, you take a position, right? Maybe when, somebody says to Dina, man, I live in a small apartment and I seen your video about how easy it is to grow these onions or grow these garlics. They copied what she did. They just did it in the bucket and they're like, look, and they send her a picture with like, 50, 1100 garlics on a string and be like, I grew all of these in some buckets on my porch. You know what I mean? I can't grow nothing but, uh, so you understand though. So and she might get a certain feeling of that, right? Or she's showing people how to take like the tomatoes and turn it into that pepper jelly thing that fam, dude, the pepper jelly with the tomatoes. Oh Jesus, is good, right? So she might like somebody might say I did that and it was amazing and now people in my family are asking me to make more and I learned it from you. So maybe there's a fulfilling moment in sharing those moments. Start to pay attention of that and start to question like what were you doing when you did that? How did it make you feel? Who were you with? Like just understanding what your moments of fulfillment look like. I think a lot of us take it in passing, which is why I'm forever on you guys about you got to celebrate every little victory because inside those little celebrations of those victories, you start to find out like where the impact you're making, where's the difference that you're making. But not only that, how did it make you feel? Because it is much easier, say it 3 times so the people in the back can hear you. It is much easier to be consistent with the stuff that makes you feel good when you're doing it, right? So there is chefs that still say to this day, when they work in the galley kitchen, they can see out the window and the food comes out and the person takes a first slice of that steak and they put it right in their face and they do one of the, like they have a small seizure when they taste the food. The chef is like, ha ha, got him. Got him. Like those are the moments that these people live for. They live for. I was just talking with Potato Jet. I was talking to Potato Jet's channel, should I say. I haven't talked to Gene since Vegas. But I was saying to him, one of the things that I really liked about this little guy is he put it in the hands of another creator and they held it for like 15 seconds and you saw the light bulb going in their face and they were like, and I'm like, that as a creator, those are the moments that you live for. right? Sometimes when you hand somebody a piece of tech or whatever, and you know you either recommend it for them or you know they're gonna love it, just the look on their face when they get hit with that. Oh my God, the possibilities, right? So make sure you are paying good attention to your moments of fulfillment, your moments of joy. Matter of fact, I would say get your journal out and write them down so it's easier for you to quantify them when you start feeling stuck, right? Now, you're going to start to understand your values. So you're going to base your your guidance, your direction, your decisions, your behaviors towards your purpose in a role in a way that it comes in alignment with your values, right? So again, we're talking aligning things up. You're aligning your passion with your strengths, with your moment of fulfillment, with your duty and service to others. And now we're defining our purpose, right? Now we're honing that purpose. Now we're locking in on what it means to you, right? So you might find out that you have a crazy ability to just organize total chaos. That's Katie. Katie can organize total chaos. She is super dope at it, right? Or actually, Paul too. Paul is really good at organizing chaos and does it with a level of ease that freaks out those of us that thrive on chaos. So, knowing that strength, knowing the liking to serve others. Paul is a moderator for like 900 people, not in one stream. I mean, 900 different people. Knowing that moment of fulfillment or joy that he gets when someone comes in the channel. Hey, check out these new people over here. XXX, blah, blah. Paul's like, get out of there. Got him. Right? Knowing all of those lineups, right? Pete has built himself a lane, right? He's built himself a lane off of this ability to organize stuff, this natural ability of wanting to service, and how to be a straight bitch and be nice about it. Paul has lined these up into a whole brand new career, right? So recognize that, right? That's how you find your lane. And from the ashes comes a phoenix that is Mr. Moderator. Like folks started calling him Mr. He didn't just make this name up. Folks started calling, damn, Paul, you the best moderator in the game. You know, now he's the Mr. Moderator. Hi, this is the Mr. Moderator, Paul Duncan. Like, I can't do it as good as him. But, you know, like you figured it out on the fly. So, like, that's funny, Paul. That's it's super funny. But figured it out, like, on without any preconceived notions or, you know, some direct plan, things kind of come into alignment. But it comes in alignment. We'll get to the next part and you'll understand how it all comes into alignment. I want to save that one for last because I think it's the most important. So once you start to do this, you will get to this part. Here we go. Self-awareness. I think it's the hardest part of this. I think it's the most important part of this. But I think folks need to be more self-aware. Because, I mean, you got to catch yourself when you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. When you decide that, hey, I'm never going to be none of that, and you decide to let your freak flag fly and just be what you want to be, that's where your authenticity comes from. Self-awareness comes from the authenticity, right? Self-awareness is things like, what's a good way to explain this? Um, you know for a fact that you really like serving in this particular manner, right? How do I describe it? Yeah, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm having a hard time describing it because it's different for everybody. So I don't want to make people think you have to have a particular skill to be self aware, but it's very important. Maybe one of the best exercises for self awareness is journaling, is like paying attention to what you do on a daily basis and catching yourself when you're doing something you know it doesn't serve you. Maybe you're the only person that can stop you from doing stuff that doesn't serve you, right? So here's a good example of self awareness. I love the doom scrolling, but I don't call it doom scrolling because mine is pretty happy. Um, yeah, there you go. June says self awareness, these like little enlightened revelations. It's the aha moments, right? And so for me, a good aha moment is I know that I can go into reels and because of my love for music and as Luis would tell you, Jamaican humor and photography, videography, like cars, that's what my reels look like, right? I very seldom get reels with hot takes on something angry. That's just not me. I don't get reels about Karen's acting stupid and stuff that much anymore because I try to stop looking at them because they're just useless, right? So I've turned my reels into very dope 60 to 90-second multiplex where I can watch all of these movies. But I also know that I can get on a plane in Lulu and fly to Cali, which is 5-ish to 6 hours, and we don't have Wi-Fi over the ocean just yet. It's coming soon. But I can sit there and just do that whole thing in reels because it's just funny to me to see what people do and what they create, and I'm nosy like that. Knowing that, I don't want to not look at them, but you got to give yourself all right, I'm only going to look at them in moments of wait. I'm only going to look at them for 15 minutes at this time to this time. What I get, I get. What I don't, I don't. That's your self awareness because you know you have the ability to crack out, right? In the diet space, some people say like if you know you're the type to sit down and go through an entire bag of chips in a single thing, you got to put it in a different container. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that self awareness, right? Self awareness comes from knowing what questions to ask when we're on the subject, not to derail the subject to what you need. That's a self awareness. You'll figure it out. I'll tell you later. But that in itself is a self awareness thing. Some people don't have that. They just don't, right? And everybody knows somebody that doesn't have that. And there's even whole entire DSM-5 diagnoses that match that. Some people would call that socially awkward. But the funny thing about socially awkward is some of the stuff that was socially awkward isn't socially awkward. It is not weird to just bust out dancing in the middle of the mall anymore. It used to be. I know I used to do it, but it's not weird now. Now you can bust out dancing anywhere and somebody will just assume you're filming a TikTok. Right? Bring something into your life that you enjoy 100%. It's so easy because they're very intriguing. They're intriguing on purpose, right? But that's the thing. Self awareness, right? June, when you're trying to smoke, remembering not to put them in the car because the first maneuver is, maybe for some people, drop in the car, roll on the window, fire up a stick, hand out the window, off you go. So what do? You replace the sticks in the car with lollipops or a piece of candy or a pack of gum or something so that when you get in the car, you still have that oral fixation because you're supposed to do that. Like now, guarantee you jump in the car, switch straight to CarPlay, hit YouTube music, right? So if that was causing some type of problem in my life, I'd have to do something like delete the app. Those are the self-aware moments, right? So Paul, thank you, Paul. Paul, thank you, Paul. Anyway, there was a good. It was a good example, Paul C. So I had to use it because you served up a softball right in the middle of that conversation, so I had to use it. Anyway, so knowing that, right, once you become self aware, it gives you an opportunity to, now that we have figured out what we can serve, figured out the cause that's greater than ourselves, what you're willing to do to serve, and more importantly, what you're willing to sacrifice in order to do that service. And you've aligned that with your passion. And now you've aligned that with your strength, but you've also aligned that for the moments that give you the fulfillment, the moments that make you go, ha ha, yes, sir. More of that. Like when you start to get that little Tinkerbell juice going, this is where you craft your why statement. And we was talking to Kat in the flow just minutes ago. Kat posted a video like 6 or 7 days ago about why she wished she had have accepted a piece of advice that she found earlier. And it had to do with defining your audience, because people would tell you to do a niche. And Kat was definitely on one of the teams of like, I don't really want to do a niche. And then she started, like figuring out her audience and like, but yeah, who's this audience? I'm trying to serve everybody. Everybody does that. It's automatic, right? Trying to serve everybody all at once. No, not to hook the movie name up. It's common, man. Creators just cannot help but wanting to do the right thing. So they create stuff like this thinking that they're serving everybody. And then they soon figure out that if your customer is everybody, your customer is nobody, right? So that was for one, for Kat, a dope moment of self-awareness. But two, that's one of those things. That's one of those things that you're going to have to come and catch it by yourself. So this is where you craft the why statement. It has to be simple. It has to be clear. It has to be, my why is to create this, to inspire, to educate others, to fix the environment, to share stories through music. There's lots of musicians out there, but I watched this dude named Brandon Shaw digging the greats, and another guy that does a thing called Tracksplanation. Another guy does a show called Middle Eights, and then there's I think it's called Exploded. They basically break down the stories behind the legends in music, or the stories of how this same song that everybody knows is this person's breakout song was actually invented by somebody else, right? So, like everybody knows about the Elvis Hound Dog song, right? And then Big Mama, but it actually predates even her, right? So people don't necessarily know. So they're not only sharing the music and teaching, but they're starting to give some of the history and the hidden stories behind these tracks, right? Or the hidden inspirations behind these tracks. That's another way to go a little bit deeper. So if you do nothing else in the next couple of weeks, legit sit down and define your why. Talking with Paul, long time ago, he figured out that for him, especially after having an opportunity to live somewhere besides the UK, like he was in Portugal for a little bit, traveled around, and see, they just can't roll up and buy another washing machine. It's not that easy. Like, say for us here, actually, in Honolulu, like getting a whole nother washing machine is somewhat a pain in the butt because we don't have a lot of place to store all of the used ones. So if 20% of the population were to change their appliance this weekend, we got us a problem. Because where do we put all of the old ones? So he found out that a lot of times they tell you an error code, and the error code results to a less than $20 part, and that part is user changeable. So instead of 5 years on a machine that would end up in the landfill, you could change this part and get an additional 5 years. So small as it may be, 106, 7,000 people later, he may have eliminated over 100,000 wash machines, ovens, dryers, heaters, whatever, from being in the landfill. It's a small part, but it's a part. Greta Thunberg appreciates you. Okay. So, you'll find it, but it comes from building your why statement. And once you know your why statement, you build and build and build. And so now he's built an entire ecosystem around making sure that people don't waste these appliances. And so much so that when my microwave started tripping, I was like, Paul, what should I do? And he's like, don't try to fix a microwave. That one will kill you. Just forget that one. We'll save it for something else. That one, you throw in the rubbish and get a next one. All right. So there you go. Now, once you define that and you write that in, you're going to want to test your why and start to refine it. Like, really do things, work in your movement. Like, I tell you guys all the day, like, there's certain things that I do, and you got to ask yourself, is it going to serve me to sit this one out? Or is it going to serve me to dive in? Like, is it going to help me get towards my purpose? And that's where you're testing and you're defining. Sometimes you will test your why up against temptations. You would test your why up against laziness. You would test your why up against all kind of things. And again, not to use the motivation word, like, would I rather be doing what I'm supposed to be doing than doing this? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is yeah. Purpose alone is a dope motivator. That idea of psyching yourself out to do something you really don't want to do, I don't really know if that works. That's not a long-term solution. That's a very short-term solution. And then once you get it, you live in your purpose every day. You get up knowing that you got to get something done towards that. So again, every Tuesday, Saturday, when I come here and teach you guys this stuff, I know that I'm helping you share what you got to share, and you're spreading it that way, right? June says, step one for me wasn't don't call it an addiction, own it, say I smoke because I like to smoke. Exactly. And how you quit is don't say I'm trying to quit. You say I'm not a smoker. That's the thing. Everybody gets, and I forgot, was it James Clear book? It was in a book somewhere. I look it up. You'll figure it out. One of the first steps is not to say that I'm trying to quit or I'm trying to lose weight. Some of you guys will sit there and say, I'm trying to create a channel to do this and this. And you can't say it like that. That is asking yourself to fail. You got to say, I'm a creator. I'm creating this channel to do. And then here's what some of you guys do. Directly after you say that, you start qualifying and comparating. There's no need to qualify. There's no need to compare. You say, I am making a channel where I share my love of X. You don't got to say, oh, but it's a small channel, or I only have X amount of subscribers, or I'm just getting started. All of that qualification is effing you up. Live it. Live your why, right? Live your why. Period, point blank, end the story. Don't qualify it. Don't quantitate it. Don't compare it. Straight up live your why. Just say what you say. Okay? That will be the thing that helps ignite the rest. Camera Junkie says, I'm creating a channel for people that really are into cameras. And I know from doing that, I can help the people that have older gear that want to do this new stuff, but they can't buy new gear. I can show them how to maximize the gear, what they got. Don't come next and say, oh, but I've only done 100 videos, or that I only have, like X amount of, like, none of that serves your purpose. None of that serves your why. None of that helps. Because you're telling somebody else that you're so small, don't come and see me. Right? Somebody else, the cocky people, the people that we don't like, would be like, hey, I got 500 subscribers now, but I tell you what, you want to follow me before I blow up. Like, that would be the same statement, but totally different. You know what I'm saying? How can you describe this? Hopefully no one else has ever done this, but I did. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's really stupid, and come to find out it's poisonous. Has anybody ever bit an unbrined olive before? I did, because I'm stupid. Right after I bit it, they said, "Don't bite that," and I was like, "Huh?" I was in Los Olivos, California. Funny name, right? Los Olivos, the olives. Hello, it was right on the cheek, um, or on the nose actually. And I was looking at the olive trees, and they had the thing. It's the wheel and the other wheel, and you basically put the olives in there, and you connect the donkey, and the donkey walks around in the circles, and it macerates the olives, and then the oil comes out. Right? Whatever they don't make the oil out of, you gotta brine it in order to eat it. My fresh olives on the tree. This is cool. I love olives. Shoot, yo, it will nay bout kill you. Okay, that is the same thing. Would be the difference between saying I have this channel and I'm teaching people everything they need to know about cameras so that they can make better decisions when it comes to doing their content, their live streams, their Zoom, so forth, so on, etc. And shutting up, that's olive oil. Say that same thing and say, oh, but I only have 1.4 thousand subscribers and I only got 200 videos and I'm a small channel. I'm just starting out, like I'm whatever. That is that raw olive that will kill you. Same thing, different. Brined oil, healthy, delicious, nasty, poisonous. Will straight F you up. Okay? So don't qualify. Just say what you're doing. Shut up. All right, cool. June said, step 2 was to limit the place and times that I smoke. No smoking in the car, no smoking during business hours. Again, that's another one. You know what was always amazing to me? It's something that I've had conversations with June about many times. Okay, mom smoked, dad smoked, June smoked. June would never smoke in front of the parents. It's not like they didn't know. June, can I get a cigarette? Yes. June, hey, can you get your own pack? Yeah. But let me get one of yours, right? That conversation happened a lot. But June would never smoke in front of the parents. And so I think in the process of deciding to quit, if I cannot smoke in front of mom and dad, even though they fully know and they always stole my cigarettes or made me go buy them some, he could say, if I cannot smoke in front of mom and dad, I cannot smoke in the car. If I cannot smoke in front of mom and dad and not smoke in the car, I cannot smoke at work. Knowing my brother has asthma, I still smoke around him because I'm an asshole like that. But for everybody, I'm sorry, June. I had to do that. I just had to do that. But that's how you do it. That's how you do it, right? So if you know you have a proclivity to procrastinate, set your stuff up so you can't do it. This is why we have a setup where you can just come and sit down and press go, right? You've liquidated that movement, so you set yourself up. So June is correct on that. And Ballard Vibes, thank you. I appreciate that. Step 3, there is no step 3. No, I'm sorry. We were talking about Jeff Goldblum last week. Anyway, step 3 is important. It's not an addiction. It was always a choice. I decided. There you go. This is very big, June. This is super, super big. People really got to understand about decisions and choices. And it's hard because that's one of those self-awareness self-awareness statements from back in a minute. It is a choice. It is an absolute choice, right? I keep still knowing I shouldn't. I still find myself making the choice to eat half the ice cream. So much so that even Camera Junkie knows, gotta get ice cream, right? When we check into the Airbnb, put our stuff in, okay, let's get ice cream. It's a known thing, right? So you have to understand that that's a choice. So if you're going to make that choice, which doesn't serve you, what other choices do you have to make in order to even that one out? So I don't do soda, right? I don't put sugar in my coffee no more, right? I don't drink sweet tea no more. Like, I know that ice cream has got to be there. So I made other sacrifices in order to let the ice cream stay. Right? There you go. So that's one of those. There's one of those things, right? That's where that self awareness comes in. Like this one would be really really hard, and they're like, oh, wait, if you're gonna have gout, you're gonna have to give up drinking. You're gonna have to give up uh, like shrimp or turkey or spinach. I'll give all of them up. I'm not giving up whiskey. Not that I teetotal. I just like to have a glass. Maybe two. Never more than that. Like I'm over that part of life. So again, that's a self awareness thing. Will it serve me to do half the bottle anymore? Does it serve me to get drunk anymore? No, it never served me. So I don't drink for that anymore. I drink for taste, and I don't even call it relaxing. I really like the taste because the first two is relaxing. The third one is, all right, who can we fight with? The fourth one is, what kind of trouble can we get in? So forth. So on and said, the inhibitions die. And then once you know that, you become self-aware that you make better decisions. Those are all decisions and those are all choices, right? There's Paul explaining how he found his why. See, there you go. I appreciate that. Right? That's the mindset I'm going in with when I create my channel, 100%, right? So as long as you understand that, boom. Yo, what is up, homie? Yo, how you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Yes, so that is my why, right? I decided a minute ago that it was about just about 3 years ago. I decided that I wanted to come in and teach creators to get rid of that I'm shy mess out of my head, because no one's really shy. That's all BS, especially after that second glass. I wanted to get rid of that I'm afraid of this and I'm afraid of that, or what would they think, or what if people say something dumb? Like, I wanted to help people learn to respect their gangster. I think everybody has a little gangster in them, and they need to respect their gangster. Like, know that you got this, know that you can get your way through anything, and know, like a gangster, there's a bunch of people behind you that would help you. So you're never really alone. All of the people that think you're alone, that's part of your own decision. I know folks right now in our community is like 700-800 folks deep. I know people right now will sit there and struggle bus by themselves because they don't want to bother nobody. That's a decision. Because the reality is, if you pop into the Discord, hey fam, I'm trying to figure this out. Somebody fitting to pop in, right? If you said, hey, I'm having this fight with my camera, I cannot figure this thing out. Doc, Luis, Paul, hey man, I got the same one y'all got, but mine ain't doing what yours do. What am I missing? Have you done these steps? And then they say, oh, well, I don't want to ask y'all because y'all going to say something and it's going to make me, can nobody make you feel shit? You feel that. You already feel inadequate, or you already feel stupid because somebody else told you that before. We don't know you like that. We tease you? Yes, it's coming. I am, guaranteed. Paul might not. Luis might not. I will tease you. I tease everybody. But that's my way of telling you that you're cool. If I stop teasing you, you about to get kicked out. I'm just letting you know. That's just how I do it, because I find fun in this stuff. I try to find the enjoyment in this and to take some of that stress away. So for me, stress management comes from laughter, and yeah, some people it doesn't work for them. Cool, don't be in my community because I'm gonna laugh my way through some pain. I'm the dude that when you get kicked in the pills, I'm cracking up. I'm dying inside, but I'm still laughing because nut takes are nut takes. No matter what, they're still funny. They hurt, but they're funny. Right? So you just have to know that none of you guys are by yourself. You could ask Threads. I'm gonna stop saying Twitter now because Threads is better. You could just go straight to Threads and ask that question. I'm having fun right now knowing what limiting beliefs do to people. Knowing that I have been trying to coach people out of their limiting beliefs for the last 3 years, I am watching an entire handful of people say, I'm not going to Threads because it's another social media. And in the head, I'm like, you didn't even try yet. It's a That's a limiting belief. The assumption is it's going to be as bad as everything else. Here's the dope part. It's brand new. It doesn't have bad habits yet. So how can you eliminate it from becoming that? Go in there and put in good bricks. If you don't want Threads to be the next Twitter, then go put good bricks. If you say, the way I'm going to make sure that Thread doesn't become the next Twitter is I'm just not going over there, I'm not wasting my time, you are part of the mother problem. Because then the people that will come and put straw are going to be outnumbering those of us that are trying to put bricks. So, Piggy, if you want this to work, you got to come and put bricks. If you just want to block the straw heads, you got to come and put bricks. Because they will come and huff and puff that thing right down and it'll be just as jacked up as the other ones. But the other ones aren't jacked up either. There's so much good information there. I don't see heinous arguments and dumb stuff when I look at Marie's feed. That ain't what she talk about. So I don't get all of that stuff that you don't like. Because I don't like it. And I don't look at it for more than a second. And I don't comment on it. As soon as I start to see that this is going sideways, boom, out of there. I really wish they did have a dislike button so I can tell it, don't ever feed me that again. Did you know in YouTube, let me see. Let me do this right quick. I wonder how many people have ever pressed this button in YouTube. I don't want to mess up my stuff, so I got to go to a different channel so I can mess it up because I don't want to mess up mine. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Let me go over here. This is an example. All right, so I'm looking at this page right here. There's me, there's Kat, there's, the backgrounds I play, and here is a shin haul. Janae, listen, I don't want to know about what you got in your bag. Did you know that you could click this guy and put not interested, right? You can legit tell this thing, don't ever show me this again, right? So I just made a screenshot for you. Look, I can press not interested, right? And if you do undo, I can do don't recommend this channel, right? So I'll leave it at not interested. I don't want to lambast her channel. If you want to tell her why, be like, not me, not my thing. Boom, out of there. So I don't ever have to worry about seeing Janae pop up in my feed no more, right? That's how you do it. Like, I like Jason, right? I think Jason is cool. Come here and hit this. We don't say hit this for our vanity. When we tell you, if you get in this feels, like the like button. Hey, here's the thing. Most people don't know. I don't think the like button has the power it used to. So they still say it out of habit. But know this, it's more for you than them. They are going to get likes, and likes make some people's Tinkerbell tinkle. But for you, you're going to get better quality videos in your feed, right? So this is a blow up of what that said. You can add it to your queue, save it to watch later. Things you add to your queue, things you save to watch later, tells YouTube, tells Al, I like this. I need more of it. Yes, sir. Another sir. May I have another? Boom. This is like, if you show me this, I tell you what, I swear make me pull this thing over. So by coming in and hitting those, you are cleaning up your feed from the crap you don't want to see. So same thing on IG. There's a little different. You just comment on something that you like and shut up, Luis. Comment on something that you like and like stuff that you like. But don't just like, oh, that was good and let it go by. You know what I mean? Yo, me too. That's how it started. But yeah, that's super funny. Yo, what is up, Makai? Good to see you here. And the 7-1, why is the floor so hard? Yes, right? You got to stop allowing yourself to hear the things that don't like serve you. So like shying away from it's not going to fix it. That doesn't make it better because it's going on without you. So maybe if your why, part of your why is to put some positivity in this world, then you can't do that hiding from the social media. Maybe you need to add more to it. Like if you want the neighborhood to not look so up, pick up some trash. How many people you know right now complain about the neighborhood looking, oh, what did you do? Oh, look, the crime in the neighborhood is getting so bad. I wish that somebody would come and do it. Hey, how about you and 5 people put on a vest and walk around in the hood and let them know that that's just not flying in your neighborhood? There's some folks in my hood, right? Ain't nothing happening in our neighborhood, but there's some folks in my hood right now that walk around with the orange vest every day. Citizens Patrol. What they're really doing, closing their Apple rings. But just the appearance of their lime green shirt with the vest and the stabber and the trash bag, right, is they give the appearance, this neighborhood don't want no shenanigans. That alone could slow down some of the craziness in your neighborhood. It's why at the Disney store, Kavika is over there. When you walk into the Disney store, Kavika's like, hi, welcome to the Disney store. Kavika don't want to tell you hi. He got to tell you hi because there's just a known perception that if they say hi to you when you walk in, it lowers their shoplifting by like 30%. So they can afford to pay Kavika to stand there and tell you sup. Yeah, it's funny, man. Like it's a lot of it so much to do again with the way that we have just been taught and mistaught. Let me make this mad clear. We have been taught and mistaught so many things that we have a hard time understanding them beyond the surface value of what has been spread around. Prime example is, like I said the other day, when you see a kid and they're somewhere between the ages of, say, 3 and 6, and you go, it's like, hey, nephew, how's it going? And they run and hide behind their mom and daddy and then poke their head out the side and look at you from back there. Mom and daddy be like, they shy. They're not shy. They're humans. You know what humans do? Protect the body. So you hide behind the parent's leg to protect all of this part from darts, arrows, rocks, whatever. This is deep in your brain, like way back buzz from caveman times. But they hide behind to protect the frontal shield. But then the curiosity says, I need to see what's going on. So they run behind the leg and poke the head out because they're humans and they want to self-preserve, and they're curious because they're humans, so they want to know what's up. Not shy. But keep hearing that terminology, then now you want to know what is shy. And you hear it so much, when you finally get to school and they start describing words, the teacher will say, hey, June, can you answer number 3? And June is like, and the teacher will say, don't be shy. And Melvin's like, okay, shy means if I don't want to say something, I don't want to do something, I can just say shy. So now Melvin has adopted, June might have been looking at the notes, but the teacher is so used to hearing that word as the kids that don't pop up right away to come to the board to write the answer on the board that the teacher will say, hey, June, don't be shy. Now, you figure as you get older, you might start to let some of that go. But then it's 11th grade. Melvin and June still in class together. Teacher be like, June, come to the board and solve this algebra problem. And the head go down. And then Melvin's like, oh, June's shy. No, he 14. He got Woodrow. He don't want to go to the board right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he was sitting in class too close to Paul. You know what I'm saying? And like, you still saying it's shy. And now you have this. So as an adult, you still repeat that stupid stuff. That's not what it is. It's not even a thing. We made it up. And every time somebody delays motion towards something, and some people have to defend themselves like, no, I'm not shy. I'm gathering my thoughts. They might have always been gathering their thoughts. But we default to the terminology because we think the behavior matches the terminology because we think it's a real thing. And there's a bunch of grown folks right now talking about they're afraid to be on the camera. That camera can't do nothing to you. It just can't. There's folks right now that out of their pure selfishness refuse to be in a family photo because they're afraid to be on camera. You know what's going to be a real messed up? When their kids go to show their grandkids what grandma and granddad looked like. There's no photos of grandma and granddad. Why? Because, oh, they didn't like being on camera. Selfish, not shy. Selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah, that your vanity, like, oh, I got this spot on my face. Man, I come up in here with my big ass nose on a regular basis. I don't care. I don't have that vanity anymore. Right? Your vanity, like all of that stuff, it just really need to go. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Boom. Yo, what is up, Noah? Good to see you here. Dude, thank you. Oh my God, that is a big one for me, George. I used to be that person. I used to be like, I don't like that. And now I've made it a point to go back and taste the things that I swore I didn't like when I was a kid. 9 times out of 10, it was just mama ain't know how to cook. Right? My mama didn't know how to make Brussels sprouts the way that they come out now. I actually like Brussels sprouts, but if you had to ask me a couple years ago, I would have told you I don't like Brussels sprouts. But then somebody told me to re-challenge all of that stuff, and then it goes. Oh, dude, the rooster though, come on. All right, brother. See you later. There's definitely a rooster around in here. He said, sorry, June. Dude, Joe, can we say this again, bro? Can we say this again? Because that is the way we've always done it. Yes, 100% one of the stupidest answers ever invented to a question. I can't stand that one. Man, oh, Dan, you must be new around here because everybody knows there is no such mother thing as introversion or extroversion. There is not. You know what it is? It's an ambivert. Everybody is hands down an ambivert. Why do I say that? Because some people will be like that when they're in a situation where they have told themselves they have nothing to bring to the party. They have told themselves they have nothing valuable to say. They have told themselves, because their mom and daddy told them they were shy, they have told themselves that they're not good enough, or they're not this, or they're not whole, or they're not smart enough, cute enough, skinny enough, or whatever. So when they go out, they don't want to put themselves in positions of vulnerability. Why? Because humans protect the body, right? And so in that statement, you got actors who, like Heath Ledger, was hands down one of the most handsomest cats in the game at the time he was in the game, still commit suicide for feelings of inadequacy. Heath Ledger was about to become the #1 actor in the business, and still, because this is other people's impressions of you is none of your damn business. You got to get rid of that quickly. So people have heard other people say that my excuse for not getting involved when there's a point to be involved, let's use camp. Camp's coming up. There's 50 of us in the room. Some people are going to be wallflowers. We didn't even use the word introvert or extrovert until recently. You know what we called them up until recently? Wallflowers. That's what it was. Or people would say shy. But now social media can spread things. So now, just like Will Butrin got people feeling that they have some disease that they don't really have, social media got some people believing that they're introverted or ambivert, or extroverted. Do you know why I say that everyone's an ambivert? Because everyone can shine when they want to, and everybody loves the time by themselves when they want to. So you can do both, right? As Cat Williams would say, real pimp, choose both. Choose both. I refuse to be introverted or extroverted. I'm an ambivert. Sunday, I love to be in the house and do jack. Mind my damn business, watch my little YouTube, and don't speak to nobody. I can enjoy that for hours, right? Sometimes on Saturday after class, right? Like, Emma might have to go to a swimming meet. So, Karen, Emma, Mom, Nana, they all take off and do something. I got the whole house to myself. I'm like, I can sit here and watch whatever I want to watch and don't speak Phone ring, I just look at it. Not today, Carol. This is my intro time. I think everybody's an ambivert. Some people are introverted until the fifth tequila. They're ambiverted as hell then. So that means what you display after Pat and Ron talk to you, or after you did a couple lines, or after you smoked a couple of joints or whatever you do after the social lubricant has been added, that's really you. Everything else is you hiding under preconceived notions, which is the reason why so many people liquid courage, which is the reason why so many people default to these drugs. You know, a lot of them were invented to help find some of that, and then people just start abusing it. But like MDMA and LSD and the aboves were invented to help get people in some therapeutic situations, and folks just decided to abuse it. So yeah, Dan, like I absolutely don't believe in introversion. I think that's one of those ones where you can let somebody tell you what you is, and you start wearing that shirt, and then now you effed up. See, my sister's missing from so many photos, and it's going to be sad when they're gone and not around. Like, how do you pull memories, right? Husband son Bob, when he did talk, it's profound. It's okay to be soft spoken, right? No, man, I did that. I tried it again. I've actually had to eat it accidentally, but you know what I'm saying? That ain't no Brussels sprout. Yes, yeah. Oh, there you go. No, it's super funny. It's super funny. Like it is definitely one that can get you stuck. There you go. Choose which wolf you feed. Thank you, Noah. And listen, fam, we gotta go have lunch. Okay? I know you be busy and stuff. And every time I fly on one of them planes, I see that piece that we did through Hateful Collab. Noah and I are super good friends, but we both worked on a project for Hawaiian Airlines that maybe neither one of us really enjoyed. But every time I fly, I get to see it, and I just laugh to myself because I'm thinking about what Noah and I went through to make those happen. And I spoke to Kevin recently, so that closes the loop on that project. Yeah. Dude, hey Miss Weezy, good to see you here again, fam. I actually made a post like a while back on my IG about being a functional ambivert, because I do and love being out and meeting people and whatever, but I just as soon could climb in the corner, whiskey on ice, soda water, coffee, mind my damn business. Don't nobody say shit to me. This is my day. Anybody says anything, catch these hands. Like I totally have that. Dude, thank you. Oh my God, this should be printed. Every time somebody says they're an introvert, I want everyone to remember what Luis is saying right now. Okay? Listen, too bad this is not going to fit in a short, but I want to make sure that everybody hears this. Every time somebody says introvert, this is what I think of. I am extroverted around dope people. I am introverted if you're not. That, my friends, is quotable. Because like I said, every person, a couple shots into that tequila, they let it go. Dan said 5 shots into tequila, I'm not an ambivert, I'm a floorbivert. Yeah, you and me both, fam. Tequila just be making me want to fight, so I don't drink that mess. This is why I'm hot. Yeah, I'm hot because you fly. It ain't because you're not. Dude, I actually really weird. I would have told you for the longest times that I can't stand okra, but like I've had it prepared in Japan the Japanese way, and it's okay. It's still a little slimy. My problem with slimy foods is I had a bug go in my mouth when I was sleeping when I was a kid, and so anything that has that texture of slimy, it gets to me. But yeah. Well, I guess I'm kind of funny and witty. There you go. There you go. Liz, you're good. Yep, the hard projects are the most memorable. Hey, they look good. Let's put it this way. Every time we get on the plane and I see one, I'm like, ha ha, that sucker's beautiful, right? Looking for the links to the headphones. It should be docrock.live/IEMs, If that doesn't work, you got to add the S. I can never remember which is which, but Paul has the list in. Actually, I got the list because I had it open in notes just yesterday. So let me get it. But yeah, those are the ones. Those are the ones. Oh, gang, by the way, I did get my fourth wall link. I put it in the chat, I believe. Oh, it's IEMS. Oh, see, David knows. So, yes, docrock.live/IEMS with an S. I can never forget whether it's with an S or not. Never mind. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I did get my affiliate link for Fourth Wall set up. And yeah, if you decide you want to build one of these stores now, it is officialated. I have a store. Yes, I am going to do a Notion page because Kat got me thinking about it now. Anybody that wants to get in the wall, look, I make my joints easy. 9 times out of 10, you could probably guess what my link is to stuff. Hey, what's the link to Discord? Hey, what's the link to TubeBuddy? Yes. vidIQ? Yes. Insta360? Yes. Insta360 Go? Yes. Insta360 S3? Yes. Like, my links are all simple because I'm creative. Yeah. So anyway, to wrap this up, fam, like, listen, seriously, the biggest one as you get started, if I had to get, I was trying to say I'm not going to put those in any order, but if I had to give any of them a weight, it's the what would you do you love so much that you would do it for free and you could do it in service of others. I think that's another important one. Because when you start out with the idea of doing something in service of others, it opens up the doors for all the rest to happen. I think so many people get into this game because they're just trying to figure out how they're going to make another buck. And it's possible, but it's not sustainable. You see so many people get burned out because they start having to do what the man is making them do, and then they're not feeling it anymore. They've lost the passion for it, right? Which is why I think it's super dangerous just to go straight on passion alone. Passion alone doesn't cover it. Some people got lucky, and I hate that word. Let me rephrase that. Some people got what they want in their first couple of chances of meeting their opposing force who they're going to ride with for the rest of their life. Some people did it on the first go. Some people did it on the second. Some people Liz Taylor that and they was Liz Taylor married 8 times, 9 times, something like that. Some people never find it. I think Liz went through all of them and still ain't found what she was looking for. And I still hadn't found what I'm looking for, right? So it's the same thing. This is why passions alone are silly, because you think you want to do something and then you don't want to do it. We were joking about this the other day, talking about Meghan Markle. She was a little kid, watched Disney movies, wanted to be a princess, made it the Duchess. This sucks. Now she ain't Duchess no more. So you gotta be careful of attacking just the passion project. Purpose will take passion in the backyard and beat the living out of it, because purpose is real. Purpose is what you are here for. It's what you're willing to sacrifice for. It's what you're willing to give yourself. What's bigger than you? What you're willing to do to serve others. Like, what are you willing to do to make others better, to make the world better, to make the place better? That's more in line with your purpose. Your passion can be part of your purpose. It might be misaligned, right? I will tell you right now that my passion project has nothing to do with my purpose. Well, maybe it does. I take that back. My passion project is going back to, sort of film-looking photography, but it's not directly related to here. Like you'll see shots and stuff up in here, but I'm not making that wholly part of the stream. Like I barely talked about my new camera. You know what I'm saying? That's my current, like passion project at the moment. But my purpose is still I want to come and show you how to tell your stories, how to get your stories out, how to grow your audience based off of serving, right? Givers gain, right? And how to like actually work in the world you talk about. This is one of my favorites. Yo, this is one of my absolute favorites. Because I'm evil like this. I was on the stream with Kurt one day, and we were talking about going live and, doing all of that sort of things. And in the process, we got to a point where one of the people in the group stated that, that noise about being shy on camera type situation. And I just couldn't help but be like, okay, hold on, let's talk this out. So you're a pastor, yes. So you go around and you talk to people about their faith, yes. And according to you, a faith is very important, yes. And people should just believe in the word of God, yes. And the person was all about it. And I'm like, okay, bet. So now, would you agree that part of your fear of being on camera is that you want everything to be perfect? Yes. Okay, so according to you, you got to have faith, which means trust in the system, which means trust in the Lord, which means the Lord made you, so you should trust that. Yes? Okay, yeah. And according to you, the only perfect is him. So why are you worried about being perfect? You can't be perfect. He's the only perfect. So, like, you're actually talking out the side of your neck, telling everybody else to have some faith, but you're scared of this. This can't do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, to me, it's fun to help people understand the words that they say and make them really work in what they mean, right? Because there's a whole bunch of cats right now. Like, I had one recently come up. And again, I'm going to tell you, just being who I am, being like that, I love to do this. Hey, man, I want to know how to put filters on my camera. Why? Oh, because I want to look like this, this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, we don't do filters. But why? I mean, I want to do this filter because I want to look good. But I was like, okay, well, your camera has soft skin built in, but our program doesn't have filters. And I don't know, the last time I checked, vanity is a sin. I'm atheist as F, but it's so much fun to poke at them about the stuff that they talk about, but they ain't ready to walk in it. And I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm saying if you're going to call that, if you're going to go up on Sunday as a preacher and tell everybody this, then you don't get to be vain. Because you just told everybody you're not supposed to. And the book says you're not supposed to. So you got to put it away and just go talk the word because you were given the ability to do the word. Go do the word and stop worrying about whether you got a blurry filter on. They can't stand when I do that because atheist folks ain't supposed to say that. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's funny. I just been around it my whole life. So I understand the people that love to talk the talk but don't walk the walk. So I just want to make sure that when you're finding your purpose, it will help you walk the walk. All right. Anyway, so Noah asked me a question. No, I didn't even look yet. You know why I didn't look yet, Noah? Because I'm going to San Diego next week. But since he brought it up, let me go take a look. Damn it, Noah. I hate you. Anyway. See? No, you understand, right? It's funny because they love to be talking about some stuff that they ain't willing to do, which I think is hilarious, which is actually probably one of the reasons why I originally left, because I went to a corrupt church. Anyway, what is happening? Yo, this is on sale. I have this right now. I'm currently using this right now. I'm really mad at the old ones. And even this one is still missing. They don't even show it. It's missing one of the things that I wish that it had, which some of the older ones do. So like this is not an older one. I mean the different brand. Here's an off brand. And these two, oh, there you go. They are showing the back. So this one doesn't have it either. When I look at these now, I'm not even worried about Elgato anymore. I'm super angry at them. What I'm looking for when I see these now is I wanted to have the PC connection and I wanted to have one more for the power. I want the power to be separate from the computer. So this one doesn't have it either. But I've run into a couple that I've seen on the market like this, where the power plug is not the same as the data plug, right? So if you look at this up close, you'll see right here on the edge, there is a separate power plug, because where people are running into problem, it's not that the Mac doesn't know how to read multiple devices, it's that USB power does have a struggle at some point. Now, it's also important to know that USB bus can probably only handle about 3 or 4 of these at once before it starts to go psycho. That's another thing that you should keep in mind. But yeah, I've been looking at ones like this where not only does it have the pass through, because that'll give you opportunity to have an extra monitor on your Mac, but I like the fact that it has its own separate power. So if I was going to tell somebody to buy a capture card right now, I actually would point them to this as opposed to a Camlink or something even more gangster than that. Not bad, not bad. So this is something that I would put in my little list if I was going to make a list, and it's on Sale right now, additional 5%. Remember to check those coupons. So there's that. Noah, I know how much you like cameras. I am really into this GR3 right now, which is really silly because it's an old camera, but I love it. I love the film stuff. The LOL sleeper van, not so much. Here's this SSD. Was that Matt who said check out the SSD? Oh, SanDisk Extreme. Oh, dang. Yo, NVMe 4 terabytes for 150? Good Lord. This is dope, fam. All you guys that bought a computer, with the Mac and you got the small drive and you worried about what to do, this is it right here. You get this and you need the enclosure, but the enclosure is, there's one company called A6, I think that's what they're called. They have a decent enclosure that has like a fan and thermal cooling and whatever, but this is pretty crazy. And it's a 3500 megabit per second, so it's fast. That's dope. All right, I'm putting this on my list of things. I should just do this. Look, done. Nope. Get back. Get back. Oh, wait, it was just there. Dang it. It was just there. This is what Matt was talking about. Matt said, look, I purchased 5 of these in November. Here is the 4 terabits option. So you can get the 4 terabyte already done, slightly slower, but you don't have to build an enclosure. There was some issues with this at one point. It should be solved. SanDisk is really good about solving their problems. Well, SanDisk / Western Digital. But yeah, this is also a pretty decent look, 4 terabytes for that. Yeah. Ooh, they got the slower version. I don't think it's worth saving $50 to get the slower version. And I'm glad that they finally made it a different color. For this particular case, I don't think it's worth buying the slower version to save that 50, because if you want to edit and things like that, the faster one would be faster. Yes, a cases. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Joe knows what I'm talking about. There it is. This is the enclosure, because this enclosure has good thermals on it. This one actually, I believe, can hold 2 drives. They have a single drive one, and they also make one that has ports on it So here, this one. This one has ports on it so that you can use it when you travel or something. So I think this is also kind of dope. And you would just slap that in there. So these are, if you're going to get an enclosure, I think this is a Cases brand is okay. OWC has enclosures and things like that. So Melvin said, can I ask you an off-topic question? iPad Pro versus M2. 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 Although the storage would be nice, but because the M1 iPad is about to be 3 years old, that's a little too far back. Like if it was just a year ago, I might be like, then. But I know I had mine for at least 2 years. So knowing that next April we're going to see an M3 iPad, we might even see one faster than that come November if they drop M3s in November. I would go with the M2, and because of the music side of it, you kind of want at least 128 is too small for an iPad. It just is. So you got to come up for that. That's the one. So it might require you to wait a minute, or go make some. Hey fam, I will send somebody in your family a song for $50 a piece, and then do 2 of them, and then get the size drive you need. There you go. I'll do a custom song just for you for 50 bones, just so I can buy this iPad. That's what I would do. Yeah, I don't know. And M1s are dope. There's nothing wrong with them, but knowing that iPads is something we hold, like a minimum of like 3-ish years, I don't know if I would buy an M1 iPad today. If I had no option, I would definitely say get it. You know what I mean? You need to connect the enclosure to a Thunderbolt hub to get the best read-write speeds. Yes, 100%. It's Thunderbolt. Lightning is for charging your phone, but I knew what you meant. You can plug it directly to the computer, and on Macs, all of our quote-unquote USB-C ports, they're all Thunderbolt ports. They're not really USB-C ports. They're faster. So, although USB-C can contain USB 4, which is Thunderbolt. Never mind. That's a whole different conversation. Yes. You plug it into one of the hubs, it's definitely quicker. Definitely quicker. Dang. Man, see, Noah got me looking at this damn hard drive, knowing I'm going on vacation. Jerk. That's why you can't have friends like that. What else they got in here? They got some SSDs out. Yeah. Oh, that's why Melvin asked the question. Those are A1s. They got 10th gen iPads on sale. But none of these are all A14 Bionicles. Yeah, I don't buy my Apple stuff from there. Yeah, Big, I'm going to San Diego to watch Manchester play Wrexham. So I'm super excited about that. I do want a new Fluke. That's on sale. Actually, the older version of this is upstairs in June's house. So I just go steal it from him. It's nice to have my brother live across the parking lot, basically. 2 separate towers. Yes. Actually, depending. Some docks can. Not all docks can. The T3 could, because it has a Thunderbolt port as one of the options. So theoretically you can, but it's better to do it from the hubs. Yeah, I don't need nothing. I'm gonna stop looking at this mess. Here's the thing. Let me tell you this what's gonna happen. Everything we see in here is gonna be on sale in August. It's gonna be on sale pre-Black Friday, and it's gonna be on sale on Black Friday. So if you see something today, you don't necessarily gotta do it. But if you want it, knock yourself out. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. I'm not listening to you, Matt. I just said I didn't want to look at this stuff. Damn it. Oh Oh my God. Matt is messing. He's getting me because I do love these. Damn you, Matt. Thought we was friends, dude. Oh, come on. These are nice. I'm not listening to Matt. Look, here's what you do. Go in here, click that, and then click on the Polar Pro store. And then you see what is Peter's hand in there. And then you can go and check out these indie filters. You know what? I got breakthrough filters right now, which I really love. He said today. There you go. I agree with you. I agree with you, Rich. Uh, I thought you said I need a new flute. No, no, no. Don't wait. See, why you gotta be messing with stuff, Melvin? You messing up my overlays over here. Stop messing with it. Yeah. There you go. Window and door sensors. See, practical stuff, Vicky. Yeah, practical stuff. I'm not looking, Matt. I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm not listening to you because I'll be like, squirrel. Anyway, fam, I hope you guys were able to catch something out of the list today. I just really hope that if you're stuck, man, like for real, this and come into Discord and just talk about like I'm trying to figure this out. Like I'm trying to. We can't. No one can really help you do it. You're gonna have to do it yourself. But we can give you some tips. We can share what's working for us or what's not working. Sometimes it's more important to do the reductive side of it, like what's not working. But trust you me, the minute you find it, man, it's like a relief come off the back. What video card? What do you use the video card? I don't use video cards. What video card are you talking about? I'm curious. Ask me again. I'll figure it out. But yes, as you're doing this whole purpose solving thing, yeah. See, here's what's funny. Here's what's funny. Because they are connected, but I tried so hard not to let my channel just become gear focused, but I can't help it because everybody knows I know this stuff. So people still send me DMs or come into Discord or email me or text me if they know me like that and they have questions for me like, hey, I'm about to buy this, and this. What do you think I should get? Right? And in a way, though, because you're going to use it to make content and that content is going to help you spread your story, your word, I don't mind answering them. But I have to fight not being just the gear picker channel. Even when I get asked to be on podcasts and streams, everyone's like, "Hey, man, can you can you come in and be the can you be the gear person for this show?" Reluctantly, yes, but that's that reluctant hero. Uh, what's an ECAM question? Oh yeah, yeah. That's I don't yes. The answer is yes. After you do all the check marks, you first of all, gangster. That means you have all your entries in. Now you just gotta hope we pull your name, and you cannot play songs to get extra credit. Boom. Red Sox. That was a joke. Yeah, black. I use black socks. I don't like white socks. Thank you, Liz. At least Liz is paying attention. Never mind the rest of y'all. Appreciate you, Liz. You always come through. And Vicky, you should definitely buy black socks. Walking away from this, encourage to energize. Thank you. Just added a whole new level of cool. Thank you, George. See, George know what we're talking about. Hey, you were on photo walks recently. Oh yes, thanks, Mona. Yes, I was. I was on with Jeff. I was actually in Jefferson's studio like 2 weeks ago. I was actually in California. I was doing something for work, and on the way out, my flight. I had like a window from dropping everybody else off until my flight came. So I went to go hang out in Jefferson Studio. And you know what I did when I got there? What I can't help but do. Start rearranging his camera and his lighting and blessing up his studio. So you'll notice his studio looks different now than before because I walk into people's studio and I just start wanting to mess with stuff. Hey, let me fix this cable ain't straight. This light's not straight, So, boom. Oh, dude, I need to see this, Big. Share these pics or it didn't happen. Come on, let it go. Let me see. All right, fam. I will see you guys on Saturday. I appreciate you guys for being here. And yeah, if you got any questions about it, let me know. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I still don't know what video card you're looking for because I'm M1, so I'm M2, M1 here, M2. We don't use video cards anymore. If it's a capture card situation, I'm right now currently using the Elgato HD60 Plus, but I've been looking at other capture cards that have their own dedicated power supply because they're just better. There you go. All right, Matt, good to see you, bro. Trying to make me buy stuff. I'm not listening to you. Anyway, I see you guys. I appreciate you. Allah.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of